Today we're beginning chapter 17 of Tanya together. We are revisiting the statement that is the basis of the entire Tanya. Kikarav alacha davar ma'od b'ficha u'levavcha lasso so. For this thing is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. The underlying basis of the Tanya is this is doable. You've got this, that we can actually accomplish whatever the tools are that the Alter Rebbe is laying out for us in Tanya. We can do this. And not just can we do it, it's actually within us. It's so close. Where is it? It's in our mouth and in our heart that we're able to do it. It's made accessible to us. Hashem has given us the ability to win and accomplish everything that we're learning in Tanya. And so at moments of Tanya where it's like, oh my gosh, like this is intense, we have to always go back to the basis of Tanya that this is doable. And if it doesn't seem doable, I'm not learning the Tanya correctly. So here's our question. In our experience, we see that it's not a very near thing to change one's heart from worldly desires to a sincere love of God. For by nature, one's inclined towards worldly pleasures, right? So how is it within reach? How is it very near to me to be able to transform those desires of my animal soul in order to have a heart that's just like loving God? So we're going to strengthen the question. Commenting on Moshe's statement, what does God ask of you but to fear him? The Talmud asks, is fear of heaven a small matter? And to strengthen the question, and if this is true, fear of God, then how much more so of love of God? For fear of God is generally more easily attainable than love of God, right? So if it's not such a simple thing to fill my heart with awe of God, how much more so love of God? And moreover, point 3, our sages also said that only tzaddikim have control over their hearts to arouse a love and fear of God whenever they desire. So how are we saying kikar v'alacha hadavar ma'od? It's very close to me, but fichu u'levavcha, it's in my heart to be able to do this. My heart's kind of already like involved in all these worldly things. How are we saying it's so easy that I'm able to fill my heart with not just awe, but also love of God? How are we saying that that's so within reach? So to answer the question, we have to clarify our terms. Here's our question. What kind of experience in one's heart is reverse referring to when it says in your heart that you may do it? What kind of emotional experience are we supposed to be having towards God? And the answer is an intellectually generated love that leads to doing mitzvahs. It doesn't need to be a passionate, fiery, romance novel, emotional experience of love. That's actually not what we're talking about. We're talking about the love that is easily accessible. It's in our mouth. It's actually in our heart that we can do it. We're not talking about fiery love. We're talking about intellectually generated love. So how is it near to you? Because through meditating on God's greatness, a person can easily rouse an intellectual appreciation that will motivate their hearts towards doing mitzvahs. So meaning I get to think the thoughts that are going to stir my heart towards loving God. And through that love of God, if I have a real genuine love, I'm going to want to express that in the form of mitzvahs. And even if the intellectually generated love is not going to arouse actual palpable love in my heart, as we explained in the last chapter, even so, it's going to be able to motivate me to actually put that intellectually generated love into action in terms of actually doing the mitzvahs. So in essence, what the Alter Rebbe is telling us is it's just one thought away. The matter of arousing a love which remains hidden in the heart is very easy and very near to every man who has a brain in his head. Meaning if I have the ability to contemplate how Hashem is running this world and contemplate the beauty within every leaf and the intricacy, contemplate how Hashem loves me and he gave me a way to connect with him through the Torah, I'm easily able to arouse the love that's already within my heart. This is the Havas Mitzvah Teres. I'm able to arouse this love, really through just simple contemplation. So we cannot control how we feel, but we can control what we think. And what we think has the power to affect what we feel. Meaning, am I in charge of my emotions? We're saying no. The Beinoni is not in charge of their emotions. But we are in charge of the thoughts that we think. And the thoughts we think are going to influence the way that we perceive reality, and therefore the way we feel towards reality. Meaning, if my basis is my intellectual appreciation of life is that I just want to be safe, so anything safety is great, I'm going to be drawn toward. Anything the opposite, I'm going to run away from it. Right? But if my mindset is I'm filling my mindset with more of abundance of like, wow, my mindset is I'm just focused on Hashem's love for me and my love for God, and there from that, like the love of the entire world, then that is going to affect the way I embrace other people and I embrace a new day and I embrace new challenges. And so even though we're not responsible for our emotions, we are responsible for thinking the thoughts that are powerful enough to affect the way we feel. And ultimately, we're going to focus on how that heart is really, the emotions in our heart is really leading towards action.